Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining day two of Eco El Paso's 13th annual conference. So again, Eco El Paso is a 501c3 nonprofit. We are an all-volunteer nonprofit, and we focus on sustainability in the hot, arid climate of the El Paso region, the Chihuahuan Desert, right? West Texas, southern New Mexico. And so our annual conference is focused on all things sustainability. And one of the major things that's always in the news is solar energy. And so solar is a big part of what we do in El Paso. We are the Sun City. This is sort of the oil boom, but in the soil industry in our area of the United States with the amount of sunlight that we get. So what we've done is we've gathered a group of speakers for the week. And today we have Jaime Navarro, and he is from Solar Solutions, Inc. here in El Paso. And I will let him sort of take it from here and tell you anything and everything about solar and anything you might want to know about. Thank you, Jaime.
Hello and good morning to you, Shelby, and anyone viewing. Thank you all very much for attending today. I'd like to speak to the do's and don'ts of solar. For many people in the business and possibly some engineers, this may seem a little beneath you, but I have to say it's not beneath most homeowners that are looking to go solar and many business owners, believe it or not. So as Shelby mentioned, we are the Sun City, and unfortunately our market penetration for solar is very, very low, much lower than many states and even some other countries. We were talking with some people yesterday about this, and Germany, which is known for being cloudy and rainy, has much higher penetration of solar than the Sun City right here in El Paso, Texas. So to get started, we wanted to again talk about do's and don'ts of solar. And coming from someone who currently still does residential retail sales, I hear these things a lot from homeowners. There's a lot of confusion, and possibly some reps are not doing the best to deliver credible information to the homeowners when it comes to energy production, tax credits, and all sorts of things. So I kind of made a little bit of an outline. And again, if anyone has questions, wants to chime in, please feel free to do so. To get started, the very first one is do your research. This is a large investment for most homeowners. Hopefully this is going on your forever home or home you plan to stay in for at least the next 5 to 10 years. Make sure you do your research from everything on actual solar production, solar companies, the types of panels, before you actually even start getting quotes. Once you dive into getting quotes, please don't settle for the first person that comes to your home, whether that be a door knocker, somebody calling, somebody reaching out to you on the internet. Make sure you get at least 2 to 3 quotes. Then, based on the research you've done on the internet, ask a lot of questions. Find out what warranties they offer, what types of panels they're using. Find out if they're a locally owned and operated company, if they have their own installers, or if they're reselling for a larger company. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's all things you should know and consider when considering the company you're going to choose to install your solar panels. So the first is do your research. Second, please don't settle for the very first quote you get. Number 3, find out what incentives and finance options are available in your market. Currently in El Paso, Texas, all we have available to us is the 26% federal tax credit. There's a lot of information about how that works, how you're able to recoup that money, and it is based on your tax liability. Make sure your sales rep clearly represents this to you. And if you have further questions, consult a tax professional. It's very important. We as sales reps are not tax professionals. Some of us do our best to explain this to homeowners. But again, a tax professional, preferably the person who helped prepare your taxes, will be the best person to consult about recovering the 26% tax credit.
Yeah, I think throughout my career, I think we tried to say it's not a rebate, right? It's not right off the top, a guaranteed rebate check. A credit is based off, like you said, liability, meaning you owe taxes at the end of the year that it can offset, right? I think that's the big thing that I think people kind of confuse rebates.
Yeah, well, And I've heard from homeowners, some reps from companies are flat out telling them, oh, you're going to get a check for this amount.
Yeah,
And unfortunately, that is not the truth. Maybe these reps are misinformed themselves. Again, I'm not
that's
trying
probably
to,
what it is. Yeah,
throw dirt on somebody or make it seem like they're lying to homeowners. But as a homeowner, you're the one that's ultimately stuck with this. You're the one that's ultimately stuck with the loan you choose. So also get to know the lenders that they're offering you and the loan programs. Some have very good interest rates, long-term financing, but again, try and consider several options and find out what's best for you and your situation. Um, Next is don't take the sales rep's word about tax credits or minimum utility bills. Again, as Shelby just mentioned, the tax credit is a tax credit. It's not a guaranteed rebate check. And minimum utility bills. Now, these vary from state to state, city to city. Here in El Paso, Paso Electric charges a minimum $30 utility bill. There's a lot of confusion out in the market as to how this is paid, what this is charged for, and being able to wipe it out completely with credits of overproduction.
for
I have
solar home.
for your solar overproduction will rarely, almost never, and Shelby, please help me confirm this, wipe out that $30 bill. Can you get a couple
Yeah.
dollars credit? Yes, but homeowners, please do not fall for the line that you're going to overproduce so much energy, you're going to wipe out that $30.
Yeah, I try to break it down for all house or homeowners. And really what that means is we have a monopoly utility. They basically can do what they want and get approval from the PUC of Texas. And what they've done only in El Paso, Texas, the only place in the United States of America, I don't know if this goes on anywhere else in the world even, where if you buy solar panels, now your minimum bill must be $30, meaning if your solar drops you to 20, you still have a $30 bill. But also people need to, remind themselves that's about $20 worth of energy on average and about $10 in fees, meter fees, all the things that every single ratepayer pays. So you're probably looking at about 20-ish dollars worth of energy. Is that right? Sort of at a ballpark level?
It is, but it's also dependent on how your sales rep and the company size your system.
It's very true.
We, for example, do not try and push 100% production offset to homeowners because we know here in El Paso, they've got that minimum bill. We'd actually like them to use energy, as you just mentioned, about $20 worth of energy and really only get zapped with about a $10 fee. Other companies have actually gone to homeowners and says, oh, look, they're only giving you an 80 or 90% offset. We're going to give you 100 or even 110. You're going to overproduce and wipe out that 30. And that's just not the way it works. So, again, do your research, get multiple quotes, please. Yeah. So that was, again, don't just take the sales rep's word for everything. Next is do investigate the company you're going to do business with. Salesperson could be the nicest person in the world, really ingratiate themselves to you, maybe have the same football team, same kind of dog. And, they get to talking and they really become almost a friend at that point. But make sure you do research on the companies. Check with the Better Business Bureau. Get online, check Google reviews, find out what other homeowners and customers have to say about them. That can be very, very important on making your decision. Again, this is a long-term investment. You want to make sure the company's been in business a while and will be around for a while to help honor the commitment of that warranty. That's a real big thing. The next is don't just choose a company because they are the cheapest price. Many times you get what you pay for. Now, there are the reputable companies that do want to give you a fair price and do want to help you see savings against your average electric bill. But again, they may not be the cheapest in the market. They may not sell the cheapest panels. Panels, just like any electronics, can vary in quality. This goes the same for basically anything we purchase. I mean, home builders, electronics, cars, everything can vary in quality, workmanship, warranty. One of the biggest things in solar panels is production warranty. Many times, the companies that are selling you good panels are going to talk about their production warranty and what kind of production you're going to be getting 20 and 25 years down the road, some even as far out as 30 years now. The companies that don't mention the type of panel they're selling or talk about these things may not necessarily be selling you the best quality panel. So again, choosing a company just because they're the cheapest option may not be in the homeowner's best interest.
Yeah, I've always told people, ask them how many years they've been in business and how many installs they've done. You can ask that in
Exactly.
just about any trades industry. If you ask that question, it'll give you a good overview pretty quickly.
It sure will. That combined with going to Google and Better Business Bureau for some
Yep.
reviews, it will
Yep.
certainly help. As a homeowner, also don't be afraid to ask for references. Any
Yeah.
credible company should be able to provide references to you. That's a
Definitely.
real big thing. Shelby himself is a customer, and we're very proud to say he's a customer of ours. So that's a huge thing based on his experience and his position. Please make sure you do your research again about the company, about the credibility. It has a whole lot to do with it. Next is make sure your house, your home, your roof is in a good condition before putting panels. It's not that every home needs to have their roof redone before installing solar panels, not by any means. Many people are living in fairly new homes, 2, 3, 5, 10 years old. However, some people do have older homes, and some companies, just to make the sale, are happy to jump on your roof, slap panels there, knowing that you may need roof repairs within just a matter of months. And then either they're going to leave you high and dry, or they're going to charge you a bunch of money to come out and remove those panels so you can have a roofer do the necessary repairs and then come back and put those panels on for you.
Yep.
So that's a real big thing. Make sure your roof is in good condition. Next is if the roof's in good condition and you're going ahead with your install, don't allow them to install panels on a bad roof, under trees, or facing north. Here in El Paso, we are a desert. We don't have a whole lot of trees except for few neighborhoods in town, but you'd be very surprised. We have seen panels literally north facing and under trees, which is just big no as far as your production is going to be concerned. And some of these companies, again, just to make a sale, will do that for you.
Yep.
Please understand, for solar panels, north is bad, south is good.
Yeah.
Combinations of east and west can work, but again, north is not what you want. Definitely not under trees. If they're not discussing the possibility of tree trimming or maybe even removing a tree, if they are shading your south-faced roof, you really may want to consider again another company or getting multiple quotes from the companies. Those are two huge things. Another thing that I hear from a lot of homeowners is concerning warranty versus homeowners insurance. They ask questions. They understand panel production. They understand how much energy they're going to get from their system. They don't necessarily understand what's going to be covered under manufacturer warranty or fall on homeowners insurance. Many times, once those panels get installed on the roof, many of the concerns you may have will fall to your homeowner's insurance policy because they're now affixed to and become part of the home. Manufacturers warranty covers against manufacturer's defects, things coming from the manufacturer, from their warehouse, loss in production, faulty wiring. There's all kinds of stuff that be covered by the manufacturer or your installation company.
Yep.
However, acts of God, hail, very strong winds, ripping panels off roofs if they're not properly secured. Anything from, hail, rocks. We've had examples where children passing, by on either an alleyway, a canal, if you have one running behind your home, decide, hey, look, something to throw rocks at. And then they do break panels. That, again, is not covered under manufacturer's warranty.
Yep.
And it's something you probably should be discussing with your company. Find out how that can be handled. Do they help you make a claim to homeowners insurance if necessary? Is there a way that they can cover that? And probably not under manufacturer's warranty. Let's just be honest. That's not a manufacturer defect.
And
I think a lot of
easy. I mean, for me, first of all, make sure you tell your insurance company that you installed solar, because if you don't, it's not covered, or it may not be. They may not raise your rates at all, but maybe they want to value your home $20,000 more. But we're talking dollars more per year, maybe, in your insurance. So I just want everyone to know that personally, mine didn't go up, but if I am expanding it and getting it bigger and bigger. So I'm most likely going to increase the value of my property. So they will probably increase my total insurance cost. But like I said, we're talking dollars per year, nothing major. So if anyone's worried about, oh man, my insurance costs are going to go way up, what we're talking, $3, $5 a month, maybe at the most. And a lot of times it doesn't go up at all. And if you do have an insurance company that gives you a problem, well, now you got to go get more insurance quotes because they shouldn't be, because it is so common nowadays. Because when I started in 2006, insurance didn't know about solar. It is pretty common now, but I do recommend that you just make sure your insurance company knows what's up.
Definitely. And in my experience, numbers are pretty close to yours. I've seen homeowners insurance premiums increase anywhere between $2 and $5 a month. So
Yeah.
it's minimal to get the coverage you'll need to protect this system.
Yep.
Again, most homeowners are spending anywhere from 12 to 20, up to about 40 to 50,000, depending on the size of your home and the size of the solar system you need. You want to make sure that's going to be covered. And for just a couple extra bucks a month, it's definitely worth getting it added. Very, very good advice there. Moving on, kind of towards the end of my do's and don'ts here is do make sure to keep your panels clean, free of debris, leaves, snow. Here in El Paso, we've got snow today. And actually, some of my neighbors to the back, I live on a little bit of a hill, their panels are covered with snow today. So assumably their system is not producing as normal. Fortunately, in El Paso, this is a very rare occurrence, and the sun is now out, so it'll be gone within about an hour.
Yeah.
But I tell homeowners, use the windshield of your car as kind of your guide. If you get in the car and you really can't see out the windshield, maybe it's worth taking a look up on your roof, check out those solar panels. If they do happen to be near trees or under trees, where wind can blow either leaves or branches or different things onto the panels, give them, check them out every once in a while. Make sure they are clean. You want to maximize your production. I do know here in El Paso, and this is something maybe Shelby can elaborate a little bit more on, there are businesses springing up that do solar panel cleaning. Excuse me. They will come out and actually squeegee off your panels. So do make sure your panels are clean and free of debris. In relation to cleaning, don't use abrasive tools or a lot of harsh chemicals to clean your panels. For the most part, you can spray these off with water, brush that off or squeegee it off, and that's going to be good enough. You don't want to use anything that's going to either scratch or damage the panels.
Yeah,
because
no bath towels. No bath towels. It's kind of like it ruins the paint on your truck or your car. Use microfiber. If you're going to touch the panels, which I don't recommend you do. I think a hose is enough. But if you're going to touch them, yeah, microfiber, squeegee, rubber is the way to go.
Did you learn this the hard way, Shelby?
I did not, but I was told very, very early on because I asked the question. Because, well, when I started in 06 in Austin, you have these cedar bursts where your panels get covered in yellow, green cedar and pollen. And so same thing was, we had to go out there and spray them down. And I thought, should I do that? And I, as a kid have washed cars with bath towels and got yelled at.
Yeah. Pine trees, pine needles. If you have very tall pine trees, even on the opposite end of your house, those needles do tend to collect on the roof. Some of them may end up on the solar panels. So, it's always good to check and just be careful how you go about getting that debris off the panels. You don't want to scratch or damage because, again, that's not covered under manufacturer's warranty. And as much as we, a solar company or installers, would like to help you out, that's just probably not something we can do too much about. That really takes me through the solar do's and don'ts. I was hoping to have a little bit more questions about some of these. Shelby, you and I did discuss in detail tax credits, homeowners insurance, and some of the things that really concern the homeowners and will differentiate company to company. So just to recap, make sure you get multiple quotes. That's the best thing you can do as a homeowner. Make sure you're dealing with a reputable company by, as Shelby mentioned, how many years they've been in business, how many installs they have, are they willing to provide references? Whenever possible, do business with a locally owned and operated company. Chances are they're going to be able to get you installed much faster and respond to any customer service issues or technical issues much faster.
Yeah. And
Shelby, unless you have any
I'm a big
questions.
proponent of keeping money in the city you live, right? If I can help create jobs, paying local companies, keeping money, local, you're going to buy local, you're going to spend your money local. That's what I recommend. That's a personal thing, but I think that helps any city, right? This goes for anywhere in the world. It's always better to, if you can buy local parts, USA made parts, if and when available, and especially local labor. And I really recommend the local labor than versus maybe a national company that kind of shows up, because they know the permit process, they know the paperwork process, they probably know the inspector's first and last name and where they live, because they've done so much business in that city. They know the gossip, they know the do's and the don'ts, right? They know how to get a permit rejected, and they know that that's probably never going to happen again. And I have seen a lot of national companies try to pop up and they didn't really know what to do, right? And so for me, it just, as a homeowner, I'm buying this expensive, appliance that you're strapping to my roof. Like you said, you want the best product, but you definitely want the best labor, and you want people that will be in business 10 years from now that can actually repair your system. So, yeah.
Or be in business in your city.
Exactly.
These big national companies, they jump from market to market as business heats up.
Just like
They
Tesla
may,
did. Yeah.
they may shut down and not even be doing business in your city 5-10 years from now. And some of these, as Shelby mentioned, I mean, Solar City Tesla was a monster company. They were booming business while they were doing jobs for Fort Bliss. Once that dried up for them, they closed up shop here, and now everyone had an 800 number to call. Turnaround times, response times are very, very different, as Shelby mentioned. In jest, but yes, our office staff know the inspectors by name, know the people down at City Hall where we get the permits. That's what helps local companies, not just ours, but local companies, get you installed much faster, resolve any issues. I've heard of customers waiting up to 6 months for national companies to get them installed, and then it takes even longer for them to call in inspections. So you can literally go up to almost a year before your system is installed and operating. That's a year lost on savings. Many times right now, towards the end of the year, when the tax credit becomes a concern, tax credit's currently currently 26 and dropping to 22, correct, Shelby?
I believe so. Yeah. Yeah. And then it phases out
So,
in a couple of years.
It's going down, and a lot of people are in a kind of a dire situation or a sense of urgency to get this system installed, or at least significantly completed, to qualify for the 26% tax credit. No offense to the out-of-town companies, but many of them will probably not make that deadline for you as we sit here late October. So please make sure you ask those questions.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you again. I really appreciate it. I think this is
Thank you for having me.
For any homeowner. Most of these go for business owners too, for the same reasons,
Exactly.
although it's a little different. But I wanted to thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for coming again. Year after year, you guys have constantly supported us. We appreciate that. We will continue to support the solar industry. But we will continue the rest of this week and next week with speakers. Again, please join us. We are an all-volunteer nonprofit. If you can donate it, we appreciate it. We give all donations back to our community. But Jaime, thank you again. You and Solar Solutions.
Thank you, Shelby.
And we will see you soon after this pandemic is over.
Have a great day. Take care, everyone.
Take care. Bye-bye.